Hello, friend. Today we are going to chat about the splenic center, or the instinctive knowing. And that is incorrect. It's not a motor, it's actually an awareness center. So let's just change that right now. All right. So the splenic center is associated with the lymph system, the spleen, and the T cells. It is the oldest center in design. This is associated, it connects us with plants, reptiles, birds, and insects. It really connects us with everything because it is all about survival. So what this center does is it actually alerts us moment by moment. It is constantly listening, tasting, smelling to make sure that the environment is healthy and in balance. And it's keeping you safe and in survival. The hub of your immune system lies here, and it alerts when there's something wrong. It's very spontaneous, instantaneous, and instinctual. And again, being the oldest system, there's memories here as well. This is where our cellular memory lies as well, because there is lifetimes of information in our DNA, and really that is a way for us to stay in a thriving position versus just surviving on this material plane right now. So the important piece about the splenic center is it's really quiet. The intuition is subtle, it's not noisy, and the not self can really overpower this center when it's defined in the body graph. Because the not self is so noisy, it's really a bully. It's can be quite nasty. It will do its best to override any kind of intuitive impulse or instinct that you're hearing or sensing or tasting in the physical body. So the splenic center is an awareness center, and the ajna center, which we're going to get to, is an awareness center, and the solar plex is also moving into an awareness center. It's not fully there yet, but they are more they're more noisy, and the not self or those other two awareness centers can really clutter up the airwaves per se, if you're not in tune with your own instinct, intuition. And we all have that, okay? But the difference between someone who has it defined, it's like it's always there. It is something that can be easily honed in on, okay? Someone with an undefined or completely open splenic center, it kind of comes and goes. The intuition is there, and then it's not, then it's there, and then it's not. And really, that's how it's built in the infrastructure of who you are. Yes, we are all intuitive. There's no doubt about it. Some of us, it comes easier. It's more innate. And it's like it's their nature. For those of us, and I'm saying that because I have an undefined spleen, it's something that I'm gaining wisdom on. It's something that I'm learning, deciphering that beautiful intuitive voice from anything else, and being able to hear it. It's not always there. It's I don't rely on it. I rely on my inner authority to guide me, and then when necessary, the intuition provides me with any kind of awareness that I need. But it's not always there. That's my experience. Yours can be totally different. So when it's defined, this, because it's an awareness center, all awareness starts with a little bit of fear. Okay, we're human, and we are already spiritual, so we don't need to take a spiritual path. We need to be on our human path so that our spiritual being can shine. And the awareness of that really is, we're trying to keep this vessel, this rented meat suit, in a healthy state, and have it survive so that we can have the experiences that really our consciousness jumped into this meat suit to have. And death is obviously one of them, because we're going to drop this meat suit and move on to something different down the road. So surviving and thriving with a sense of well-being. That's what this center is doing for those that have it defined. The intuition, the instinct, and the taste, it discerns what's healthy or not. So this center's continuously discerning, always discerning. Okay, there's intuitive hunches here. It's consistent. It can, like, when you have it defined, it's a consistent way for you to navigate on this plane. Depending on if it's your inner authority or not. If it is your inner authority, then it's very spontaneous. It's telling you moment by moment by moment. If it isn't your authority, so say maybe you have the emotion, maybe you have the sacral also defined. So if it isn't your inner authority, what's happening is your inner authority is kind of taking the wisdom and knowledge and awareness that center has accumulated. So, maybe you're a sacral authority being, but you also have the sacral and you have the spleen defined. Well, what's happening is the sacral is going to go and move you into an experience only based off the health of the body. If the immune system is down or you're unwell, the sacral center understands that, because all of this is communicating within you, and there's no mental nothing needing to happen there. And the sacral is going to move you if the body's healthy. If the body isn't healthy, the sacral most likely is not going to move you into that experience. Now, I'm going to say most likely because it all depends. It completely all depends on what the situation is too, right? So maybe it is to move you into a workshop where you learn about herbs to support the body. Your mind is like, oh no, I'm sick, I don't want to go, but the body's moving you there because the body knows that the information that you're going to collect is going to help the immune system. So always caveats, always millions and millions and millions of different experiences or paths that one can take. And it's all about listening to your own inner authority. So what in my experience, people that have this center defined and they are not trusting their inner authority, and they're not moving based on the strategy and inner authority in this life, what I've noticed is that these are the people that usually hit the brick wall. Meaning, when an illness comes on, it's there. There's no, how do I want to say, lead up to it. So there's, and of course, this is when people are really not trusting and listening to their own body's consciousness. That's what I've noticed here. Again, your experience might be completely different. What else I've noticed is when, people that have it undefined, because they're gaining the wisdom from it, are so highly in tune to their body that the moment that their immune system has been moved into action, they become aware of it and they can support their body in more homeopathic kind of ways. So using more natural based medicine. And I'm not saying that people that have it defined aren't going to do that either. But what's interesting is that they usually hit the wall with an illness. So sometimes the medical system does come in handy. So when it's undefined, of course, there's fears lying in here. And no, I'm not going to list the fears for you. When you want to move forward into learning more about this, then we can look at your particular fears and your particular body graphs. But the fears can be magnified, okay, if a person's using the not self to make decisions. Or the awareness can become very profound and they honor and learn from their fears. These people can cling onto people that are not good for them based off of the fear of, maybe I can't survive if so-and-so isn't in my life, which is usually a false positive. So the unhealthy dependencies can arise because they'll hold on to these people believing that, oh, well, they'll keep me safe, they'll keep me healthy, I can't survive without them. And then, there can be lots of physical and mental abuse that lies here just because the not self mind says, well, we can survive if they're around, because that definition is brought into your aura. So when defined by someone or through a transit, there is a deceptive sense of security. It's not yours. It's not, it's somebody else's energetic that's flowing through you. And then all of a sudden, the not self mind says, oh, well, I'm secure here. And that person's being abusive. So, you get to learn great amounts of wisdom on the health and well-being of the body and the mind. For me, mine's undefined, and this is one of the reasons I got into human design, and this is one of the reasons why it bumped into me. Really, is my body was not healthy at all. How old was I? I guess 37. And I felt like I was 80, an unhealthy 80. And by having this information and understanding so much about me, I am able to help my body get back to a state of repair. And this is one of my greatest teaching centers in my body graph. So here's my body graph here. And I am learning a whole ton of information about the spleen and the immune system and the health and well-being of myself and the health and well-being of others. So if you want to know more about your body graph, if you want to know more about your design, how you're, structured to navigate on this plane, health, being, in a state of well-being instead of a state of ill-being, definitely let's have a conversation and see if you and I are even a good fit. If you're listening to this, most likely the frequencies that we have going on are compatible, but if not, that's okay. There's lots of other people teaching human design, and I'm not here to teach them all. So you can contact me, email or phone, and yeah, if you are intrigued in any way or want to, move into a higher state of self-awareness and self-actualization, I would love to help you. Thank you. Take care.